My name is Hayden Baker and welcome to Hayden Cinema. And today we are going to be talking about Scott Derrickson's new movie, The Gorge. So last night for Valentine's Day, me and my girlfriend decided that we were going to watch this movie, The Gorge, and I was really happy by it. There's a lot of good things in here. There's some things that I'm mixed on, so let's get into it. So to start, the story itself is very similar to other things that we've seen before, as you have two people with a goal who battle things and uncover secrets. The concept and the actual story and the plot itself is very original. And here we have two characters, Levi, played by Miles Teller, and Duraz, I think is her name, played by Anya Taylor-Joy. They both are very convincing in their roles. They do really great. Their chemistry together is also very convincing, and you believe the things that these characters tell you that they're feeling, and you believe they're feeling towards each other. And it's always great when a film can translate that very well from paper to on screen. You'll have actors who can translate that together as well, especially towards each other. And the concept and the plot of this movie is very compelling in the way that they lay it out for you. And one of the bigger things that I really like about this movie is every time you have a question about what's happening, it immediately answers it. Not all of them per se, but it answers majority of your questions. And almost immediately, me and my girlfriend last night were laying there and we're watching this movie, and it was kind of funny because every time she asked a question, there it was, they answered it. Or anytime I asked a question, immediately right after they answered it. So that's always a good thing to have. Also, the themes and the things that they explore in this movie are very well done. The unique thing of the Gorge, of these two snipers who are hired to guard opposing sides of this gorge, which is like a gate to hell. They play it out very well. It's very interesting. The action's pretty cool. The horror side is a bit of a letdown. The big standout of this is the romance, though. With the many themes of this movie and the commentary and the message it goes for, it doesn't beat you across the head with it for 120 minutes. It's very easy to digest, I would say that. And I cannot talk about the good about this movie without mentioning Scott Derrickson's direction. Scott Derrickson has been one of my favorite directors for a while now. He's got some misses, but for me, it's honestly mostly hits. And he's a very genre explorer. He's an artist. He explores almost everything. Also, his music choices in this is great. There's some that I'm like, oh, that was really cool. That's really awesome how they did that, and that's really fun. And then there's some where it's like, oh, this is setting the tone. This is really creepy. This is, and there's others that are like, oh, this is exciting. There's action. His song choices, I would compare, and this one alone, I would compare to almost Tarantino level with how perfect they are. Not only his music choices though, his camera work. He now kind of has this signature camera works that he does, and these tricks, the way he moves the camera, the way he shows things in the background and what's in the foreground. There are answers in the background of his films in every scene and every frame. Now leaning towards the middle of the road for me is, with all the things that this movie explores, it is very predictable. Like I said, it's a very original concept, and it's an original story. It's not an IP. It doesn't pull from anything. It doesn't set up for anything. It's very standalone, but it is predictable. But, however, it doesn't have any weight whatsoever to the plot. The plot still moves. It doesn't affect anything. It doesn't rely on any twists or turns or anything like that. It's very straightforward, but it's predictable on where it ends up. Now, with the bad part, it is a slower burn. It didn't affect my experience as much as it may affect others. Me personally, as someone who is honestly really tired of the 120 minute to almost 200 minute long movies especially in that stretch of 23 and 24 that we were getting, where it was like every single movie was that long. Here recently, especially in this month alone, you look in the theaters right now and it is only 90-minute movies, a couple under, and that's really refreshing. And with this one, as it is 2 hours and 7 minutes, you me personally, I almost felt none of it. There was a couple parts where I was like, I can kind of feel the time here, let's pick up. But as soon as I started feeling that, it does pick up. So like I said, it doesn't affect my experience, but I can definitely see it affecting others. And there isn't a lot of character development for the individual characters. You don't get a whole lot of development and background per se for Levi or Duraz. I think it's, again, his name. I'm probably butchering that, but you don't get a whole lot for them individually. Now, them together, you get plenty. You get plenty of arcs. There's good development within them too, and how they work together and bounce off each other. Like my girlfriend said last night, they're very linked together, and that was really cool to see with the scene when he's trying to get across the gorge. Not going to spoil it, but he's trying to get across the gorge, and she helps in a way. They work together without saying a word. And so when it comes to that point where he's trying to get across to get to her, them being linked together actually works very well. Again, great development for them as a duo, but individually, there's not really a whole lot there. And I think one of the last things I'm going to say here is that this, in my opinion, would make a really cool video game. Especially with the monster creations. I can definitely see you being in a video game with a bunch of these scenes, especially when you get to the actual gorge part. Very, very cool visuals, and all credit to Scott Derrickson. He's really good at those, especially with his monsters. Now, they are CGI. It's still men in like polka dot suits is what I call them. I really don't know what they're called, but the CGI in this type of dystopian sci-fi film doesn't really bother me. I'm kind of used to it at this point, but it's something that looks very good for what it's going for. However, I think it would work so much better in a video game or even a limited TV series. Like if you put a limited series of this on HBO Max or Apple TV or Prime or Netflix or whatever, it would work very, very well. Another thing that it doesn't bother me too bad, but there is a lot of more interesting things that went unexplored that they showed you but didn't tell you anything about. And there was a lot of things that I wish that they would have explored that they didn't, and that I was more interested in them exploring than the things that they actually explored as far as the gorge goes. So overall, I think it is a pretty fun film. I had a really good time. Again, the romance is really great in this. Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy really are great actors and actresses. The story with them and the way that their characters grow throughout the film and come together is really well done. Again, it does have a bit of an identity crisis with all of its genre mixtures, but its main focus being the romance really holds it together. What we do get is really satisfying and really enjoyable and really fun. There's plenty here for everyone. My girlfriend doesn't really like the action and the horror movies, and she really enjoyed this. She doesn't like Miles Teller, and she really enjoyed this one. So go out and see it. It's actually on Apple Plus right now. So go watch it on Apple TV with your significant other. Y'all cuddle up and y'all enjoy this. For me, it is a 3.5 out of 5. The very few things in this movie that bother me a little too much, but it's okay. It happens. Oh well. But so far, I really enjoy this. If I had to rank all of my Scott Derrickson films that I've seen, this probably would be towards the bottom for sure, but it's not bad. If this is the worst film that you have in your filmography, you are a really good filmmaker. Seriously, this isn't a bad movie. I debated on giving it a 4. It was breaking that, but with it being so new and so fresh on my mind, I might want to give it a second watch before giving it a 4 out of 5. But as of right now, it is a 3 out of 5. That could change. It probably will. It probably will go up, but I guess we'll see. And that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoyed making it for you. I can't wait to talk about the next movie. If you like what you see here, you can always go follow my X account that I will have in the description for you. And we always talk about movies and TV shows and news and all that good stuff. So come join the conversation and come join the fun. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment down below and let's talk about this movie. Have you seen it? Did you like it? If you haven't seen it, why do you want to see it? Why don't you want to see it? Let me know everything. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.